We're at Gala in Montreal and we're speaking with Anne-Marie Colliander. Is that the right pronunciation in Swedish? Close enough, I guess.
Close enough.
And I'm very, very thankful for you being here with me. I wanted to talk a little bit about conferences with you this morning. And maybe my first question would be, since you're involved in so many of the industry conferences and localization, how do you think conferences are evolving over time, and maybe how have they evolved over the last decade? What's changing, and how are you adapting to the needs of the localization industry?
Well, I'll answer that with a question back.
Okay.
Have they evolved?
I don't know.
Just kidding. I think one thing that is clear is that post-COVID, I think our bandwidths are shorter.
Sure.
So I've seen more short presentations, short talks, a little bit more energy. We don't have those lengthy 50 minutes, ongoing with 42 slides. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because our ability to focus is not what they
Our
used to be.
attention spans are shrinking every time. It's true.
And I'm not sure, I don't know if that has to do with age or if it's just, how things are.
It's society in general, I think. Wouldn't you agree? I think that's the way social media is going. Short format is really what everybody is veering towards, and getting your point across as quickly as possible. That's why I'm doing these flash interviews too with you this morning. So what's your approach to curating content for conferences? What are the things that you should be paying attention to get quality presentations at conferences?
Well, first of all, I think working with the program committee is really key, because you will have people that can bring insights and feedback on particular topics or speakers. But I also think what we should do at the larger scale is to actually handpick topics and speakers, and also looking outside of our industry. We have a lot of knowledge. We have so many people that we can listen to and can share so many things. But I also think that we should bring in inspiration from other industries, and we can only do that by handpicking. And I'm not only talking about the keynote. I mean, here at Gala in Montreal, what a great keynote we had, but also other more, detailed topics where we can learn from other industries. So I think that's really important. I also think that we perhaps need to be a little bit more critical to bringing in the same names.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm one of them. But, to see that, I think that there's a lot of more information that people can share if you look a little bit further than just the usual suspects.
Yeah, I agree. It's difficult to get value with the same people over and over and over again. That's maybe one of the challenges. Speaking of challenges, and you have a lot of experience with really large conferences as well, at Loop Worlds, etc. What are some of the common challenges that you face setting up these events? Are there any particular ones that you can highlight so people interested in organizing events can learn something from your experience?
Well, the challenge that I see is that the size of our conferences are just there in that scale where it's difficult to find venues that have both a hotel and a good conference venue.
Yeah.
So now we're in Montreal, this is a beautiful venue, and we can go to other cities where we will find that. But if we would like to go to smaller cities, European cities, for example, there are very few hotels that can host more than 300 people. Right? So if you're larger than that, that's a big challenge.
It's a big problem, yeah.
So we want a little bit of both. We want the convenience of traveling into a nice city. We want to have a city where you can explore and you can, go downtown and share a beer with someone, or, But at the same time, it has to have the facilities that we are requiring. So that's kind of the challenge is.
Yeah.
We can go to convention centers that seats 2,000 people, but that becomes very anonymous.
Yeah.
And we want boutique, but we're too big for boutique. So that's, I think, is one of the challenges.
You're really enlightening me. I never really thought about it. And when you're at conferences, you always hear people talk with lots of critiques about what's right and what's wrong. But that is something that I hadn't really contemplated. So thank you for sharing that. That puts it in a new perspective. We always think like, why are they not doing in a conference here or there? But there's logistics that have to be met.
And also cost.
Right.
We'd love to be downtown San Francisco, but
Yeah.
will we pay for tickets? for
Yeah,
that?
that's
That it
that's
will
tricky.
require?
Yeah.
So that's the balance. We want boutique and luxury, but at the same time we want to have an affordable conference to attend, and we have to have the capacity to host all the people that we want to come.
Yeah.
So that's the balance that is difficult.
I'm part of social media, the new social media wave. So I'm always interested in what's progressive and exciting for the future. Localization conferences tend to be rather conservative. I think we can agree on that. What are some tactics you think we should be employing to be a little bit less conservative and think out of the box a little bit?
Well, I did an experiment at one of my own conferences that I did a year and a half ago in Estonia. We had a volunteer panel. So we just placed the chairs. The topic was given, I don't remember in all the details, and then we challenged the audience to take one of the chairs, and we alternated, and that became a very vibrant conversation. And I challenged, and this is, when you run the conference and you know your audience, you can challenge people.
Yeah.
Because you know who they are and you know that they will stand up for the challenge.
Yeah.
That was very interesting. I think also, just look at the networking opportunities we have. All we want to do is talk. So I think enabling breakout sessions, mini workshops, if you like, topical themes that we can discuss in more details in groups, and maybe then give a feedback to the rest of the audience, saying, okay, these are the three key takeaways that we got out of our think tank, as we call them at NTIF. So that's one thing, because the variety of services in the localization industry, it's just exploding, and it's very difficult to set together a program that caters for everyone's interest. We have media localization, game localization, interpreting, subtitling, translation, localization, transcreation, and if we should cover all of those topics in one agenda, we would have a week-long conference in 5 parallel sessions.
The technology is going at breakneck speed too, right? So that's part of the challenge of keeping up. I know this is not my interview, but since you're here and you're involved in so many of these conferences, I'm going to make the plug anyway. I think that we should think at conferences, we should think of a format that is a hybrid unconference type of session, maybe, where we do that on the fly with a larger audience, but maybe some people that are part of the unconference that are really experts and that are, I don't know, maybe a group of 15 or 13 people, and we vote on topics, and then we just have a loose discussion for a couple of hours. I always enjoy the unconferences very, very much. And especially if the participants are a little bit curated, then you get really fantastic content that you otherwise wouldn't get if you had a planned event. Anyway, that's my plug to you. Take it for what it is. You'll forgive me for taking over for a half a minute. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie, for your graciously accepting the interview. And we look forward to the next Loc World or the other whatever conference it is that you might be organizing next. What is the next conference you're organizing?
Well, the next big one is definitely
Loc World
in Malmö. So, and I know I'll see you there.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. Malmö is a beautiful city, and if anyone watching planning to go there, take the plane to Copenhagen.
Oh, okay,
right?
good.
And
Yes.
cross the bridge.
Yes.
And the next one will be my NTIF conference in November in Helsinki.
Okay,
So those are the two
good.
major events
Perfect.
this year.
We'll give a plug to you for that
Thank you.
on the LinkedIn post, and thank you so very much for joining.